Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing. Tonight on the Josh Nolan and Oliver S. Full Throttle Racing Show, hashtag one on YouTube, we have 16-year-old racing sensation, racing superstar, Charlie Medford out of Kentucky. Welcome to the show, Mr. Charlie.
What's going on? Glad to have you.
Yeah, what's going on? We're here to talk to you. I'm here to talk tonight about your racing career. So, Charlie, how did you get into this awesome sport of auto racing?
You know, this past year is really I've had some nights in the shop and I've just kind of sat down and thought, how in the world did I get to this point? And it's kind of funny because I've sat and thought, I never really wanted to race. Dad bought me a go-kart and I just kind of started driving it. And next thing I know, I'm blink of an eye, I'm racing modifieds, all over the Midwest.
Okay, so how that's pretty awesome that you sat down and thought about it. um, how did you end up with getting Valvoline as your sponsor?
So my mom went to school with one of the somebody high up in marketing there at Valvoline, and we met him at Brownstown, Indiana, in the Flow Night race this past year.
Okay,
And we just swapped some contacts and a few emails down the road, and Valvoline they hooked us up a lot. Valvoline's one of my also sponsors. Glad to have them back on board for the 2024 season, and appreciate the support from them.
so when you started racing, did you set goals when you started racing?
I set goals, when I was younger, but I kind of don't even follow those goals anymore. When I was younger, I always, wanted to get to NASCAR and this and that. And at this day and age, I really don't even want to get to that, level anymore because, that's not really a level I want to see myself at because, I ain't even gonna lie to you, NASCAR drivers half the time look miserable. Like they don't look like they really enjoy it. So I kind of want to, just kind of stay on dirt, and I like what I want to make it to is be a full time, super late model dirt driver, for a house factory team, running Lucas Oil World of Outlaw schedule.
Okay, so you had set some goals when you were younger. Did you achieve some of them goals?
I, I guess you could say, the goal for the sport that I was in, I raced go karts for the longest time, and I won a few national championships and series championships in it. And, it was that was kind of the goal from when I was racing go karts. But it seems like I keep achieving my goal every year for what I was wanting to do. I set small goals for myself just to chase. Like when I went to Florida, this time last year, I was setting my sights on winning a Gator, and we went down there and done that. But setting goals and stuff. This past year I really didn't have much because it was just a learning curve for me because we traveled so much, and I was just trying to get all the knowledge I could at different racetracks and all that.
So okay, so you became the Mars Series Rookie of the Year this 2023. What was that experience like for you?
Man, it was a roller coaster ride. I ain't even gonna lie to you. We had ups and downs. Early in the year, heck, I mean, we was popping off heat race wins left and right, fastest in our group, and then we got to the summer, and I slowed down a lot. I wasn't having really consistent runs. I was in the middle of the pack. Just I was really down on myself this summer, and then I just kind of just got in the shop one week, and I kind of closed the world out. I stayed off social media. I didn't talk to nobody, and I just worked on my race car all week. And then I finally got to a point where I was comfortable in the race car, and we started running a little bit better. But we didn't have that touch, really get up there and get any feature wins. But no, I mean we was good. It's just we just wasn't the best. But yeah, I mean I really appreciate Jonathan Clayton and Jeff Curl for putting on the Mars deal, the modifieds, giving us a chance. Mod guys, they don't really have any touring series, especially in UMP. So I appreciate, them for putting that deal on. Yeah, we was thankful enough, get the Sunoco Rookie of the Year.
Very cool. So you race cage karts, go karts, and dirt modifieds. What is it like to race all three of those?
I wouldn't really say I race cage karts. I ran a champ buggy one time at Millbridge, and yeah, it didn't really go that well. But Jeremy Burnett, he said, I got an open ride this weekend. You want to come get in it? I was like, absolutely. I'm one of those people where I race anything that I can, so, but racing go-karts, that's kind of one of my deals of bread and butter, I raced go-karts for the longest time, and I really enjoy racing go-karts, but I, I would say, both helped me, on both ends of the spectrum, go-karts really taught me how to drive, how to, be smooth on the wheel, because in go-karts, you ain't really got a lot of power, so you got to keep your momentum up. And racing go karts, like it's a whole lot more physical, because you ain't got it's a whole lot of like G forces, and you ain't got no suspension, so it's rougher on the body. So it kind of keeps me in shape, during the winter when I get to run them.
Does your modified drive different than your go kart or the cage kart you were in?
Absolutely. Yeah, on dirt, you're spinning half the time, trying to find traction, but in go karts, tire game is all they are. Most of the time, go out there, hold it wide open, and just try to turn the wheel as little as possible.
So, what is it like to race the dirt in December at Gateway in St. Louis?
It's a dream of mine. I've always wanted to run it. I've been there. I've been attending that event ever since it's happened, either as a spectator, as a crew guy, or as a racer. It's such a unique event where people go into it, and it's not even really a race. It's a sporting event. It's really for entertainment purposes. I like to call it the Royal Rumble of dirt racing, because
Okay.
it's in that stadium and it's so electric, and there's such a vibe to it.
What was it like to race the World Short Track Championship race?
It was unique. I've never, got to race Charlotte. I went and watched a World Finals event there, and that place is super cool. That's one of my favorite racetracks. It fits my driving style, real big and sweeping. Very much momentum. It was cool. I got to go down there and stay with one of my best friends, Cole Hilton. He lives 10 minutes from the racetrack, so I stayed with him all week, and we hung out all week at the racetrack. We raced each other, so it was a cool event. I had a blast down there, so I'm really actually ready to go back to that event. Maybe we can not blow a tire and maybe win this thing this year.
So, what is your most favorite victory you've ever won?
It's probably stuck between the 2017 Max's Nationals and the Gator.
Okay. How do you celebrate your victories there, Charlie?
I go all out. I get wild. I scream, yell, jump all around. I'm very energetic when it comes to my wins. Everybody's, I see everybody getting out of their car and just, waving at the crowd. Woo, yeah, I won. But you don't understand. For somebody like me, I don't know if I'm gonna wake up and race the next day, or I'm gonna ever win again. So every win is something, very special to me that I hold dear to my heart.
Do you work on your race cars along with your crew?
You're looking at the crew, dog. It's me and
Okay.
Dad. It's me and Dad. I work on the car a lot during the week. He has the full time construction business. Like today, we was putting up garage doors in a business office. So no, it's I do tires, maintenance. I work on it at the racetrack. I drive it. I do everything but haul the rig. That's about it.
Who do you have for sponsors, Charlie?
Man, I gotta we're so thankful. Get all of them. We had Bill Stein come on board this year. Shocks. They really helped us out. Owens Construction. They've been a long time sponsor of us, and they keep providing to us. Oakley Engine Performance, Weir's Machine, Night Owl Designs. Mom and Dad Metford Construction, Dig City, Kelly Trucking, Quality Towing, Dominator Race Products, Charlie's Garage, K1 Race Gear. Joy Seating, um, Bassett Wheels. Valvoline, like we mentioned, and I know I'm forgetting a few. I'm trying to look at the wrap in my head. Just a lot of people, that's really helped me get to where I'm at. And Race Ranch, Race Ranch. That's probably one of my biggest, ones. The clothing company. The t-shirts really what funded me to race last year. After the dome, and I'm back. After the dome spill, they, all the T-shirts, support came in and really got us on the map, and that just really funded our racing career down the line.
So what happened in the dome spell?
I mean, it's just the you can't park there deal. I mean, it just a very unfortunate deal happened on the racetrack, and my true innards came out. When I get on podcasts and in front of a microphone, I try to professional myself up. But truly me, I'm just a redneck kid, and I get wild, I get energetic, and I let loose, and that's what you seen. You seen the real Charlie Metford. I gave it all I had, and I just put on a show for the fans, dog.
Okay, so what is your are you presently looking for sponsors for 2020?
It's never the ending to looking for sponsors, especially the way that the economy is, and the pricing of racing's never dropping. Everything keeps going up, and like I said, it's just me and Dad on a race car, so we really don't have a tire sponsor or a fuel sponsor, or we don't have a car owner. We don't have any of that. So we're everything that is on that race car is coming out of our pockets.
So what is your favorite part about racing, Charlie?
Man, probably just the thrill of victory, dog. I mean after working your tail off in the shop all week and sweating, tears, blood, just all going into one piece of machinery, and then going out there and being better than everybody else that night. It's such a relief, and I think that's kind of why I do it, because there was a lot of times this past year where I just wanted to give up and quit, and like that, a lot of people do ask me about like if I had anything to like say to younger generation of racers, and it's do not quit, do not quit, because I tell you there were so many times this year where I just wanted to quit, and I just kept pushing myself through. And then you'll have those nights where you're just terrible, and you'll have those nights where you almost win. I had a lot of almost wins this year.
So how did the nights that you wanted to quit? How did you force yourself to get back in the car?
I just sometimes I went inside and I just called it a night, or other times I just looked at it. I said, "This is my life. This is what I am. There's been you know if I'm gonna make it, I can't quit now. So I just most of the time put my head back on straight and get back to working on it."
Okay. So Charlie, do you have a racing page that the racing fans can follow you on?
Charlie Metford Racing on Facebook is our number one go-to for our any PR updates and stuff about me. We're working on getting a website going, so but no, our main is Charlie Metford Racing on Facebook.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go check out Charlie Medford Racing on Facebook. You'll find out a lot of stats about Charlie there. Get racing updates on there. Find out where he's going to be racing at weekly. So, where are you going to be racing at weekly this year, Charlie?
We're honestly going to slow down our racing program. We raced, I mean, a lot last year, all through the summer, spring, and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of just more hit big shows, money shows and stuff like that. So we really don't have a weekly schedule. I wouldn't even say that I'm going to be racing a weekly racetrack. I mean, I doubt I'm going to race the same racetrack 2 weeks in a row. So no, we're just kind of slowing down, but speeding up at the same time.
So, with your UMP mod, would you ever consider doing like some IMCA stuff?
I tell everybody I'd love to run USMTS. I'd love to go to Super Nats. I'd love to do all that.
Yeah, because we have a big race coming up. I believe, now don't quote me on this one, I believe it's in May. It's at Clay County Event Speedway in Spencer, Iowa, and I think it's a $250,000 to win show for IMCA mods and stock cars and stuff.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, 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 definitely. But yeah, Charlie. So I'm going to turn the mic over to you. Do you have any questions for me?
I as a fellow podcaster myself, I really haven't been doing it this as much this winter. But what made you getting into the media broadcasting deal?
always something I kind of dreamed about and just never really put too much thought into it. And a fellow IMCA modified driver is the one that kind of gave me this opportunity. He said, you've got a lot of race car drivers on your Facebook page, do something with it. And I just said, Clay Evans, I've never been on a camera a day in my life. He's like, just go with it and see what happens. Well, we started out with 38 viewers off of Facebook Live, and a year and a half to 2 years later, Charlie, when we left to go over to YouTube, we had over 2,000 some viewers throughout the USA and Canada, which is just crazy, crazy, crazy famous. Well, then we moved over to YouTube, got over 409 subscribers and 12,000 plus views. So we're getting there. We're getting there again.
Which, I mean, it takes a while to climb up there, and props to you for sticking with it. Evidently,
Oh
I
yeah.
can't. I'm too busy to do all that.
Oh yes, 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 yes. But yeah, Charlie, thank you for being on our racing show tonight. Before I let you go, how did you come up with your number 3?
So my grandfather, his number was 13. When he played sports, and I really didn't. I started out as my number 66 off of Route 66 off cars, and I seen this 13 jersey sitting in the house. I said, I'm gonna be 13. So, and later on down the road, I had a Dale Earnhardt throwback wrap, and I did a little one, big 3, and ever since then it stuck. So it's pretty much the big 3 is pretty much just a tribute to Dale Earnhardt. I mean that's comes down simple to it.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Charlie, thank you very much for being on our racing show again tonight. Talking to us about your career. Definitely, once you get your season underway or get ready to start your season, we'll possibly have you back on here again. I'll call you in a little bit to thank you in person, but I'll let you step out and I'll give a little racing news update and give you a call here shortly to thank you in person.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me come on here. I really enjoy, doing this stuff, talking to different people about, their racing experiences and, comparing them to mine. So, yeah, I appreciate you having me on here, dog.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Charlie Medford out of the state of Kentucky racing UMP Modifieds. He was the 2023 Mars Racing Series Rookie of the Year. Definitely a kid you're going to definitely want to watch for as the future goes further, as it gets further into his future. He wants to run Outlaw super late models with either Lucas Oil or World of Outlaws. So definitely, if you have a seat open, definitely give him a shot at an opportunity because he is well worth it. But a little racing news update wise for you there. Come out today that the number 7 of Corey LaJoy has a new sponsor coming into this next year. So we'll see where his new sponsor takes him. He's going to start his sponsor at Daytona. So we'll see where that happens. Here in another week or 2, we will have the Clash at the Coliseum, and we'll see where that goes. Also, Kyle Busch picked up a new sponsor this year. He's going to be running that for a few races. And other than that, that's about all I've got racing news wise. James McFadden and the 83 Rough racing team have announced that they're going to be racing the High Limit Series this year. So that's another driver to the High Limit Series. We'll see if we can get some more drivers over to the World of Outlaw Series. Definitely. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Dirt Track Race Cars and Company, DirtTrackRaceCars.com. Go hit them up for all your racing diecast needs. They have some pretty awesome 164 scale sprint cars, and I'll definitely snag them up. And then also they have some awesome 124 scale classic modifieds and stock cars. So go snag them up at DirtTrackRaceCars.com, Dirt Track Race Cars and Company. Also, ladies and gentlemen, would like to thank Brody Manning Motorsports for being a part of this racing show. Brody is a pavement late model driver, but he's also in a band called Guilty as Charged. So go check both of those pages out. And then also, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our sponsor, New England Hemophilia Association / Walking with Waylon page. So go check Walking with Waylon out. Because Waylon does some pretty awesome adventures. If you would like to sponsor a racing show or be on a racing show, feel free to email us at jjnolan151@gmail.com. or you call or text us at 712-209-7138. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you have a good night. Catch you later. Another episode of the Josh Nolan and Oliver S. Full Throttle Racing Show. #1 on YouTube.